Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kalinting Reads. My name is Dimas and I'm your host. Today, I'm going to review a slasher novel that I think will be perfect for your Halloween reads. The book is called Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare. I hope I'm saying his name right. If not, then my apologies to the author. Now, even though Halloween is not widely celebrated here in Indonesia, but many people here are familiar with it. Some of us even throw Halloween themed parties and stuff. But of course, it becomes a bit difficult to do things like that during this pandemic. So for me, the most comfortable and safest way to celebrate Halloween this year is probably by watching scary movies and reading scary books. And I think this book, Clown in a Cornfield, might just be the book you need this Halloween season. Clown in a Cornfield tells us about a young girl named Quinn Maybrook who just moved into the town of Kettle Springs, Missouri, with her newly widowed father, Dr. Glenn Maybrook. They previously lived in Philadelphia but needed a fresh start, partly due to the aftermath of the death of the mom. Upon arriving in Kettle Springs, the family and us are introduced to the locals, from the friendly teen outsider next door who collects guns to the intimidating sheriff of the town, to a group of prank loving, troublemaking teenagers that Quinn, our protagonist, reluctantly but eventually got mixed in with. Now, right from the very first day that Quinn arrived, she and us are informed about the history of the town Kettle Springs. We know right away that the town is struggling economically. It once thrived as a producer of corn syrup, but the big corn syrup factory, which is called Bay Pen, which has a clown character as its mascot, was closed and was recently burned down. So a lot of people in the town whose income and livelihood were previously indirectly and directly attached to the factory, from corn farmers to basically everyone else, are now struggling. The youth of Kettle Springs, however, seemed to be unfazed by this condition. In fact, there is a group of teenagers in town that are infamous for doing dangerous pranks and throwing parties at people's houses when the owners are away. This group consists of Ronnie, Matt, Trent, and Janet. They are led by this rebellious rich boy named Cole, whose family owns the Bay Pen syrup factory. Now, our protagonist, Quinn, somehow got mixed in with this group on the very first day of school. In fact, she got into detention with them that day. From that point on, we got the sense that this gang considers Quinn to be cool enough to hang with them. So they invited her to a party that is going to be held late at night in the farmhouse in the middle of a cornfield. Now, as many horror fans know, when you have a party or some sort of a gathering in a horror story, horrible things are bound to happen. And frankly, for me, that's when the fun starts. So, immediately after Quinn arrived at the party, she met many of her classmates. It's as if every young people that live in Kettle Springs were at the party. They were dancing, they were playing games and drinking the night away. However, of course, all the fun and games didn't last because someone in the clown mask, which everybody knows is the mascot of the corn syrup factory, decided to crash the party and kill all the teenagers. From that point on, the book never stopped. People are just slaughtered left and right in various ways. Heads got decapitated, eyes got punctured, bodies got blown into pieces. The killer clown used various kinds of weapons to kill his victims, from a crossbow to a chainsaw, a pitchfork to a machete, an axe to a shotgun. Now, as many horror fans know, ultimately what makes a slasher story thrilling and enjoyable is not the body count, it is not the slaughter or watching people die. What horror fans enjoy is the suspense, the chase, the hunt, the fighting back. Also, it is always interesting to see the dynamic between characters when they are trapped in life-threatening situation. It is always thrilling to see characters trying to help each other or help themselves and do absolutely everything in their power to survive and ultimately fight back. Now, I found all of those in this book. the writer has successfully created a group of characters that we care about, even the ones that behave like jerks. Because for me, I see them all as kids. So to me, it's just them being kids. So I worry about them. What I also like about this book is that while the kills are violent, the book doesn't go into torture territory. It does not linger in the character's suffering or agony. It moves quickly so that my attention is directed not towards people dying, but towards the core characters that are trying to survive. That is why, for me, the book is thrilling without ever being deeply disturbing. But of course, this is all subjective. Ultimately, though, what makes this story work for me is the protagonist, Quinn Maybrook. Now, this character is in the same mold as the final girls from slasher movies, in that she's incredibly resourceful, very rational, and quick on her feet, even though she has her own things to deal with, like losing her mom and having to leave her hometown and friends behind. She still cares about other people. She cares about her father so much that she didn't tell him that moving to a new town is hard on her. And when the slayings and the killings start happening, she risks her life to save other people. She is an awesome character to root for, and her bravery, her resourcefulness, and selflessness is inspiring. So, yeah, I enjoy this book very much. This is what I consider to be fun horror, in the vein of the movie Scream, You're Next, and Ready or Not. It is not depressing, it is not deeply disturbing, it will not haunt your dreams. It just wants to give readers an adrenaline rush, much like what you would get from riding a roller coaster. So, because I enjoyed this book so much, I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. If you don't mind a bit of gore and you want to read something in the horror genre that is thrilling, exciting, and fast paced, I highly recommend you read this book. It's quite fun. So that's my review of Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare. If you've read this book, let me know what you think of it, or if you have any recommendation on another book in the same vein, please let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm a sucker for good slasher books or movies. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next book review video.